It's way too obvious that most women want the security of having a man while still acting single, whereas men who just talk to a woman on the streets are cheaters. It's okay for women to keep posting provocative pics as if they were still advertising them. Wait, or are they just doing that exact thing?
He saw me on the social media, he liked my picture, he liked the way I was, and he chose
No,
me for that.
but then
and why he's gonna change me?
But remember,
Right.
back then you were single. Remember you said you were single posting because you were single. Now you're with a guy. How do you change it?
She said that she didn't post for
I don't
attention.
do, yeah, and I don't do
You,
things
you
like
believe that? Come on. Remember, right? When you're single, do whatever you want. When you're with somebody,
I do whatever I want. And
that's why you're single.
So, do you not understand that if you get with a man, right, there's rules and boundaries that you have to stick to stay in the relationship?
No.
There's terms.
Boundaries and rules are good, as long as they are hers. If it's the boundaries of a man, he's just an insecure misogynist who can't handle a woman's past and boss babe behavior. Exaggerations aside, the reality is that boundaries are there not to oppress, but to preserve the relationship. With the excuse of freedom, these women end up sabotaging their relationships even if they look hot as hell. But yeah, a hot body is not enough to retain a man long term. That's because the guys she has been with didn't hold her accountable for anything. She's pretty, so they get afraid to lose her. They think if I set rules, she might run away, and the guy doesn't want to be alone, so they stick around and tolerate her BS. Basically, no guy has ever told her no. That's why she is the way she is. With this girl's logic, it would be okay to be on Tinder during a relationship if that's how you started the relationship. What the fuck? Had an ex that kept posting pics of herself anywhere we went, and we even took pics together, but she only posted ones with just her. That was already a red flag, and it didn't last long. She's living the Disney princess walking dream, forever 21 until she hits the wall. Man, I gotta start a business breeding cats, cause the way things looking, there's gonna be a whole lot of single ladies in a couple of years. These women are ridiculous. You don't act single when you're in a relationship. What a man wants in a woman is not the same as what a woman wants in a man. That's just the way it is. After a tough day of work, even with extra hours on your shoulders, the last thing you want is dealing with arguments with your chick. She's supposed to be your peace and quiet, but it looks like most women can't seem to understand it.
It doesn't
It
change the
should be a
fact that women
partnership.
are not, they don't share their resources. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's
you're
not
trying
true.
what do you mean by resources? Like their money?
Yeah.
women have a difficult time financially providing for a man long term. They can do it temporarily, maybe a month here, 2 months here, maybe even 6 months. But there's always a shot clock on the amount of time that a woman will support a man. That is why a man does not care about a woman's success, like you tried to say before. I would rather date a girl, right, that doesn't make as much money and is available, right, young and attractive and not a pain in the ass, over a successful, ambitious woman, because women that are successful tend to come with bad habits that aren't attractive.
And
To
what are
you,
those
though.
bad habits?
Assertive, dominant, non-agreeable, masculine, competitive. These are all traits that are great for making money, but terrible for a girlfriend.
And if you're a woman, and I understand having a career is very good and everything, but if you are a woman with a very busy career, the man's going to be thinking about, well, when are you going to have time to give me kids and take care of the family if you have this big business going on? That part.
Like, I mean, I don't want to date myself. Would you want to date a guy that wears heels and dresses up and wears makeup? Okay.
You're asking me.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
The
Would you?
person who hates Democrats, so definitely not.
Okay, so why? Fantastic. So why should I date myself? You don't want to date yourself. I don't want to date myself.
Okay.
That's why I don't like.
I would love to have another sex. I'd be owning the Komodo or Poppy's steak
Here's
instead
the
of
problem. You're lacking critical thinking skills of understanding what men want versus what women want. You're bringing it back to yourself. Everything I say, you bring back to yourself. I'm telling you, look at the opposite gender. We're attracted to different things. That is why your success means nothing to a man. Versus I understand that my success means everything to a woman.
I don't know.
Look at Myron's face. That face right there says it all. When a woman's nonsense, I mean weak logic, gets destroyed, well, they just resort to the I don't know card instead of admitting they're wrong.
But
But you know something about that, right? The guy that actually cares about your success needs it. The man that
Exactly.
doesn't want it.
Mm-hmm. It's
'Cause
not
you're-
that they need it.
No, he needs it. Trust me. Because without you being successful, he's not where he wants to be. So matter of fact is the man that you actually want, in this case, is your man because he wants you. But along with that comes success and money. For example, him, he doesn't need it because his money's already set up how he wants to be. So he has a choice to make here. I'm just saying for most people, or most guys, most girls, they want what he's saying. For example, women want, a guy with success and status, and men want a woman that's going to be submissive and follow his lead, pretty much. So.
I just think that's just control at the end of the
I
day.
feel-
Oh my god, now that's control. Give me a break. If you've been in this world long enough, you know for a fact how controlling women can get, especially in relationships. Jealousy, backbiting, and mind games are more common than you might realize. If you've ever worked in sales, can you imagine how many times guys have to say, I need to talk to my wife, despite getting the best deal ever? That is the consequence of partnerships instead of men and women fulfilling their roles. In other words, men depend on their women's opinions, a recipe for destruction.
I feel like you could be successful, but if your personality is not there, you're not gonna be valuable. Like if you don't respect me, you're not loyal to me. Like even if you have all the money and I'm struggling up to here, like I'm personally not gonna put up with it. And there's a lot of women that won't. If we're speaking in general,
Okay, well, most women will, so you'll be kicked to the curb.
then that's fine.
Most girls would rather share a guy who's successful than have a loser to themselves.
The chances of the average woman, like me, I would say with the average income,
Yeah.
to meet a wealthy guy is not as common. So I'm, how can I explain this? Like
You're more willing to settle?
I'm more willing to settle.
That's cool. Then that's
Which is
you,
fine.
but a lot of girls aren't. And then you said something about controlling or something like that?
Yeah, if there's a relationship where there's an imbalance, I feel like it's a lot easier to control. Like if a female, for example, is a stay-at-home mom, has been out of the workforce because she found a guy that was willing to provide because he did have the money.
Mhm.
What happens when he switches up on her and shit happens?
Which
and then,
happens.
And then here she's out of work for 6 years, for example. It's harder to get a job.
She's older.
You were given this comfortable life where you have everything provided to you, which was great in the moment, but the second you have to leave, it makes that choice a lot more hard.
That's actually incorrect. Statistically speaking, men rarely leave relationships or initiate divorce.
That's facts. Women initiate divorces and breakups around 80% of the time. It's insane how convenient exceptions are when they suit a woman's narrative. But a man's situation, no matter how much he justifies himself, will never matter. If he's gotten injured and now she cannot do anything fun with him, she can go out and cheat with no regrets because he can't provide her with the fun she wants. Hypocrites.
I said for a female to leave if she's in a situation.
That's my point. I'm saying that men rarely initiate breakups and divorce. Women do, because there's consequences for a man breaking up a relationship like you
But
just
I'm-
described.
There's laws.
There's laws, but they're not in every state. Like I know with me, when I had my divorce, like I got fucked.
Did you make more money than your guy?
Yeah.
That was your problem.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
She got fucked.
That was your, that was your problem.
No, but if-
most of the time,
I'm gonna say if I wasn't in the job I was today and I got in a comfortable relationship with a fucking millionaire and he was providing me the world,
yeah.
and he became abusive, it would be a lot harder to leave.
Yeah,
Because
but if you left, you would be able. See, the reason why your guy, who initiated that divorce, you or him?
it's harder
did,
to
didn't he?
do that
He did, didn't he?
with no. I filed for
You
divorce.
initiated it.
Yeah, I filed for
Okay,
divorce.
so you filed for divorce. So
Yeah.
even you, being the breadwinner, you initiated the divorce.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that most men don't initiate divorce because they know they're going to be on the hook to pay child support and alimony and lose the house and the kids. So the scenario you're giving, like, oh, but he could just up and leave. Statistically speaking, that's rare, about 20% of the time. Women initiate 80% of divorces.
80-20. Yeah, women initiate 80% of divorces, but they only focus on the exceptions. The same applies to cases of violence. Namely, men suffer more violence than women, especially in war, gangs, prisons, etc. But nobody gives a fuck about that, and only women are called victims of abuse even if the man just wants her to dress modestly. Let's check the comments. This is perhaps the biggest problem we all face in relationships these days. The girl said, when shit hits the fan in my relationship and it's time to leave. Women even enter relationships in bad faith, already planning for something to happen and already planning their exit. How is a relationship supposed to be successful, loving, and caring when it starts with one party already having one foot out the door? Men love unconditionally while women don't. A man will be loved and appreciated by a woman as long as he can provide for her and protect her. If not, his stupid ass is on the curb. Imagine driving for 20 plus years and then all of a sudden some dude tells you that red lights mean go and green lights mean stop. That's how these girls feel on this pod. The fact that these women would rather keep their jobs just in case they need to leave shows how little faith they have in the relationships they themselves are choosing. Ask a woman for a prenup. What the fuck is wrong with you? So you don't think this relationship is going to work and we are already thinking about the end of it? Also women, I need my own money so I'm able to leave him if I want. Make it make sense, guys. Actions speak louder than words. If a woman says she loves a guy but still she keeps advertising herself, well, she's doing market research just in case the current dude fails at some point. What if the guy leaves her? She'll have nothing, says the girl who filed for divorce. The irony is through the roof these days. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.